Cloaked, issue number 3. For those of you still out of the loop, I don't know why you'd be watching this review if you were still out of the loop, but 4-issue miniseries from Dark Horse Comics imagines a real-world Batman and what happens if after a couple decades the Caped Crusader goes missing. This Batman's called the Sentinel. His boy Wonder's the Wonder Boy. His Joker's called the Lunatic, and we're going to pay him a visit in this issue because at the end of issue 2, our detective here, Jake Stevens, got himself into a little bit of trouble after the woman he was interviewing was killed in front of him. So what is that going to look like for our detective? We'll find out. But before that, we open up this book and we see 23 years in the past, the Commissioner Gordon stand-in, who is just the commissioner of this beautiful city. He's about to run for mayor. He loves the city. He supports all of its actions. He even supports the Sentinel. He's all about this stuff. It's really cool. It's really fun. But somebody tries to kill him and the Wonder Boy saves his life. And before the Wonder Boy gets killed himself, the Sentinel comes in and attacks the pursuer and knocks him down and kills him, thus solidifying this commissioner's love for the heroes of his city. Does this commissioner look a little bit too much like Jim Gordon? Yeah, of course he does. But that's just the case we're doing here. We're not beating around the bush. You know comic books, you understand what we're doing. I don't have to explain it to you, you're well aware. We cut to the present day, and once again, Jake Stevens is being interviewed for the murder of somebody he just previously met. In the first issue, it was Wonder Boy he talked to. In this issue, it was the reporter that kind of reported on the Sentinel. He's trying to defend himself. It's kind of working. The woman who is prosecuting him, the woman he has history with, she doesn't believe he did this. They both believe it was murder, but they can't really pinpoint exactly what was being done to him or why he's trying to be framed. They're trying to figure it out, and she's like, okay, if you're working this case, who's your next visit? He's like, I'm going to go see Jeffrey Walton. I know he's in a maximum security prison. He's the lunatic. He's my next bet. There's a rumor going around that he knows who the Sentinel was. I need to confirm that. But because it's a maximum security prison, how is Jake going to get in there? Well, he's pulling some strings, saying he's talking to Mr. West. He works for Mr. West. He needs to talk to the lunatic about all this. Bada bing, bada boom, some magic gets done, and we see that Jake's going to have a couple minutes to actually talk to Jeffrey himself. Power of the billionaire? Truly it is. Do I still think Mr. West is going to be the Sentinel? Of course I do. Does it feel like a red herring? Of course it does. But the fact that it feels like a red herring, the fact it's not a red herring? Probably. I think it's gotta be, right? Like, who else would it be? So we see that he's headed down to the maximum security prison. He goes to the side door. One of the physical therapists lets him in. It's like, you have 15 minutes before the other doctors get in here, but good luck trying to get anything out of this guy. Nobody's really managed to break through with this guy, so we'll see what happens here. And of every prestige character we've seen so far, I think this Joker one is pretty fun. I say Joker, he's the lunatic, you get it, you understand. It's very much just like watching a psychopath yell at a guy. And he's not really like a full-on psychopath like we've seen the other characters he's homaging become. He's just like, they locked me in here because I was against the guy that is the Sentinel. I'm not a bad guy. I am a broker. I know the world is screwed up and messed up and everything's kind of shitty, but I'm not a bad guy. I might have taken it a little too far all because I put on a costume. I did a few bad things in my life, but I was never a murderer like they say. So Jake's like, okay, obviously you saw something. Can you just tell me what it is you saw? Like, what was this big thing that you have to have been hiding from the world? So we talked about Jeffrey's past, and one day he's just jogging through the park like he does every morning. He went off his regular path. He used to take a shortcut, and he just saw the Sentinel looking at a man who was cowering in fear, just a member of the city's underworld, and the Sentinel just shot him point blank. And then a ball rolls next to him, and this young girl witnessed the murder, and then he killed the girl. It broke Jeffrey, and he's like, how can this guy be loved by the public? He gunned down an innocent girl. Why is this somebody we're idolizing? And in the modern day, it breaks him down into a fit of laughter because he's like, I'm the one they locked up, but he's the one that murdered people. And he just loses his mind, and we see that the night shift kind of like returns early in the day. It's like, okay, you got to get out of here now. You know, the therapist is like, you got to leave. People are coming. Make it look like an accident and punch me. But he didn't get any of the answers he was looking for from Jeffrey Walton. Instead, he's just like, I know who he is. He's pure evil, but I don't know his name. So Jake manages to escape without being arrested, and we cut back to the next morning where we see Gale gets some news about the last place that Stevens was, and Walton hung himself in the prison. Another one dead. We know it wasn't Jake, but somebody is obviously setting him up. It's the premise of this book, and we have one issue left to figure out who that's going to be. I'm enjoying this book. It's kind of easy, it's kind of campy, but it's just fun. It's not like a realistic take on this world. I thought it was at first, but I'm like, no, it's just like, what if Batman was dark? And Batman's been dark forever, but there's just something about this take on it I think works really well. The characters are cool. The story is it's just well-paced, good fun. You could easily throw in the pastiches in there and do something creative, but the fact that these are original characters is very cool to see. I'm just really digging this book. I think it's a fun read. It's very solid. The artwork is very cool. It's very just, that neo-noir kind of Sean Phillips vibe, and I really dig that. It just looks amazing and very fun. It's going to be for some people. I don't think this book's going to be for everybody, but those who read it, I think it's just a nice, solid book. Tells you some great stuff. I love this interpretation of we live in a society. It's a man who is literally broken by the system, so you buy his heel turn. It's kind of cool. It's very fun, very interesting, and makes for some great reading. So Cloaked, if you're still not picking it up, I do recommend checking it out because it's doing stuff that not a lot of people would be expecting for the prestiges it's playing with, and it's trying to be original, and it's doing a pretty good job at it, if you ask me. So Cloaked, issue number 3, I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.